Israel's not something that can be given by the British government. Israel's a name. Is a name that somebody earns. You have to earn the name Israel. And think of it like this, Abraham was a prophet. His grandson Jacob, he was a prophet too, but he was a prophet that led, that was a ruler that ruled the land and the people. And since he was a prophet and a ruler, he earned the name Israel, and he was Israel. And the 12 tribes of Israel were the 12 tribes of him. And Israel was full of prophets, because it was a instinctive path that people followed back then, that led to God, to where you could communicate with God and whatnot. But the thing is, the Jewish tribe is waiting for someone to just, be able to talk to God, or whatever. And then they want them to, rule over them and like tell them what to do and all this stuff or whatnot. But the thing is, for Israel to exist, it's basically like the person that rules Israel must have a close relationship with God, because of all the, decisions that need to be made when you're ruling people or a country or some land or whatever, You need to have divine wisdom. Because if you don't have divine wisdom, you're going to make mistakes. That's just the way it is, And look at it like this. All the prophets, they study God's creation. They gain all the conscious understandings within, everything our God created. They put understandings within it, and it's an actual education, And meditation, every prophet meditated all the damn time. And you can say prayer, meditation, it's kind of the same thing, And knowledge. After you ask 1,001 questions, and I'm just using 1,001 as a representation of a bunch of questions, Once you meditate on the understandings within your mind, You add the understandings and the meditation together. You meditate on the understandings within your mind. You ask all these questions, and it just grows into knowledge, because that's the instinctive process, and that's how it works. I wrote our Bible because, God's teachings. That's our Bible. I look at the word our Bible as, God's teachings or whatever. Equals mind plus nature. Everything, by simply observing nature, our mind produces understandings that grow into knowledge. That's just the truth of the matter, Nature is full of conscious understandings that strengthen your mind and make it so you can answer all those questions you ask that you need on your path to God, to finish your path to God, Wisdom equals life divided by time. As you age, the older you get, the wiser you get. And it all depends on what you're doing with your life, your path in life. You're going to get wiser in whatever you're doing. Whatever path in life you're living, you're going to get wiser in that. If you want to obtain divine wisdom, basically, you have to I didn't write divine wisdom on this paper, but divine wisdom is obtained when you finish the path to God and you can communicate with God, That's where life divided by time, it's basically you finish the equation, And soul equals life divided by growth. The soul is in constant growth while there's life. This is very important on the following the path to God, because your soul's growing. Every action either, benefits the growth of your soul, harms the growth of your soul, or maintains the growth of your soul, And you never want to harm the growth of your soul. That's a very dangerous path in life, No matter what it is, you don't want to harm the growth of your soul, even for a moment, even if you're able to repair it later on in life. Why risk dying with a soul where the growth of your soul has been warped, It's a dangerous path. Anyways, and evolution equals life divided by reproduction. It's basically you have kids before you die or you don't, And within religious belief, a lot of people like to believe that, God created the universe in 7 24-hour Earth days. And you gotta realize that God's an eternal being, and as such, they're not constrained by the spinning of our planet or the how many times the planet goes around the sun, When they're counting a day, they begin and the end. It could be less than a second. It could be more than 1 billion years. To an eternal being with no concept of time, who has existed eternally by themselves forever, to begin and to end has always been a day. That's just the definition of eternity to an eternal being, So yeah, it did take God a day to do all that stuff, you know? But their definition of a day is not the human definition of a day, and that's just the simple truth of the matter. Anyways, the path to God is going to take your entire life. You might not even get there, but you need to try. It's an instinctive path, and once you get there, you maintain it. Basically, you gain the education that every single prophet gained, you know? That's basically all the understandings in God's creation. You look at the river, you search for God. You search for understandings within the river. You look at a tree, you search for God. You search for understandings, you know? Everything that God created, you search for God there. You also search for understandings. You know, it's an education. You need to be educated because a human in its natural form is dumb as shit, you know? And if you are Jewish, you will know that a human in its natural form is dumb as shit because you study the Torah, you know? And it teaches stuff like that. But the thing is, you know, the Torah has been warped by time for what was it, 3,000 years? 3,220 years? But, you know, dictionaries didn't exist back then, you know? Dictionaries, what, they show up, 1,000 years ago or something? But anyways, all I'm saying is, if you're reading a mess, the Torah is like a message from God, you know, and it's like a message, like follow this path this way, follow this, live your life this way, you know, and it's a specific message for, you know, people that, for, you know, Moses asked questions to get answers, you know, specific answers, specific questions, specific answers, whatever. But the thing is, it's an instinctive path. Every prophet gains the same education. They walk the same instinctive path, you know. They ask all the same questions, you know. And it's basically an education that's not contained in a book. It's an education that's not contained in a book. It's an education that is instinctively, you know. It's an education that just exists, you know. It's hidden from us because it's an instinctive process that exists. It's an instinctive process that exists. In any case, you know, I don't know what else I can say, you know. I hope Israel can exist someday, but as it turns out, the requirements just aren't met right now. Not until someone walks the instinctive path that leads to God and they maintain that path to become a prophet, and then they also lead, you know, the Jewish tribe. And until that happens, Israel just doesn't exist. The country Israel exists, but the Israel that's been the Jewish tribe has been searching for doesn't exist, because the Israel the Jewish tribe has been searching for is not a place, it's a person. It's a ruler that rules over the land. And since their name is Israel, it's the land of Israel, you know what I'm saying? And without someone from the Jewish tribe earning the name Israel, it's just not going to exist. I think of it like this, you know? I earned the name Monkey at about the age of 5, you know? Because I love climbing trees. I still do. My whole life I've loved climbing trees. It's just something that, you know, it's really fun for me. So I earned the name Monkey. I earned the name Monkey. And the name Israel is something like that. Israel's not going to exist until someone from the Jewish tribe earns the name Israel, you know? And I hope it happens, because then they'll have divine wisdom and all that stuff, you know? And with divine wisdom, you're not going to do horrid things that Israel's doing right now, you know? Israel, the true Israel, you know, if Israel ever does exist, during war times, they will not murder one family member of their enemy, because that would be as if they were murdering one of their own family members, you know? And they would understand that shit. But the rulers of the country Israel, you know, they don't know stuff like that right now because they don't have divine wisdom. It's just the way it is, you know. But I hope that someone from the Jewish tribe can finish the instinctive path that leads to God, and, you know, have Israel exist again. It'd be nice. It'd be real nice. It'd be nice for everybody. Even people that, you know, aren't Jewish and don't care about that, because they'll be welcomed, you know. They'll be welcomed in Israel. People of any faith will be welcome in Israel, or people of no faith will be welcome in Israel, you know? Because that's what Israel is. It's a place ruled by one of God's servants. It's a place where the ruler has divine wisdom, you know? And that's just the truth of the matter, you know? That's the truth of the matter. And the truth is, everybody who follows Judaism, they know that's true, you know? Israel, the country Israel, it's kind of like a placeholder right now. A placeholder for the Jewish people, you know? And that's all it really is. It's a country, like any other country.